Welcome to Intro to Anime, a podcast for gods. I am your host, John Hill, and I will be joined by Matt Hill, someone who I would consider a brother, mostly because we come from the same sperm and eggs, but his name is Matt Hill, aka Savage the Fourth, twice removed. In this first part of the series, Matt and I will be uploading a video and audio podcast reviewing each new episode of My Hero Academia Season 4. But that's definitely not all. Every episode will be covering anime, the culture of anime, animeducation, and exploring the background of our motherland, South Korea. It's time to explore the world beyond our own. Welcome to Intro to Anime.
Hello.
Hello?
The whole thing we're doing now is the My Hero Academia Season 4 has just come out, and I have been watching it religiously, and I didn't know what to think. I actually didn't even know my brother was a fan of it.
Didn't you watch it all in, like, the span of...
Seriously, like, very few weeks.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, what about you? I feel like you watch things like you're in and out.
I think I watched it season by season, pretty much. I think the first season I watched it, like, near the end, or, like, right before season 2 came out. I usually do not watch animes like that, or
really?
any TV show like that, yeah, because I like to bulk watch it. But because you're my brother, and because we're kind of tight.
You trust me with that information.
Oh, yeah.
Because I could ruin your life with that information.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's cool.
Doing it now.
Well, I will say this. At first, when I was first watching it, I saw, like, a bunch of people. There was this podcast I listened to where they were kind of talking ish about it. They were just like, dude, so many people do so much of what they do so much better already. So my brain was like, is it even worth watching? But
yeah,
I'm not,
you held off for a while.
I did but I'm not like one of those like exclusive anime dudes. Like the whole point of this podcast too is that I'm new to it and you're someone who has been in it. Like you kind of understand the landscape of anime, and I'm like, I basically watched Dragon Ball recently and I was like, dude, this is the best thing that's ever existed again. So I watched all of Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super, and then that's when I went to like Cowboy Bebop, started watching Yu Yu Hakusho again, and then just all these animes.
Dude, oh my gosh, like even you naming these animes, I'm like, okay, let's just go through the list.
Yeah.
Because like you going from like Dragon Ball Super to fucking Cowboy Bebop is like, that's like, I mean Cowboy Bebop we know is like one of the greatest animes ever.
I mean it's been my favorite one so far.
Yeah, exactly. You've like been on this binge for a couple months now.
Yeah.
Like ever since like May or something.
Yeah, I mean the cool thing is Super didn't come out that much before I got into this.
Yeah.
So
by the way, they finished the dub on Super
exactly
like last week or something.
Yeah, they weren't even officially done with the dub by the time I finished it. So I felt like I was like kind of catching back up to date. But I also mentioned this the other day where I was watching Rurouni Kenshin, and now I understand when people are like...
I even got a smile on my face when you said that.
I know. Well, there's like the meme. There's already the meme where like dub is dumb. Like anime people are like, I can't believe you watched dub. You should just watch sub or whatever. Isn't that what's called, sub over dub or something? So
is it? Yeah.
Sub over dub. I don't know. But people always make fun of the dub. And then I was like, okay, well, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, I watched Rurouni Kenshin and I was like, dude, I kind of get it. This dub is insane. Like...
Sometimes the dub's really bad. I mean, I can't really think of a show that's... I mean, I've seen a lot of them in sub, and it just kind of sounds right. I mean, it's natural environment, right? So, like, I have to look at Rurouni Kenshin again to, like... I mean, what is it, like, just squeaky voices and stuff? I mean...
Well, it's just, like the action and the talking... You know, like, when you watch, like, memes of an account, like, it'll show, like, an action scene, they'll be like, oh my gosh, that thing is coming for me. And it's, like, a joke. The whole show is like that. Like, the action scenes, you're like... Especially the girl in it, the main girl, she's just like...
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I cannot believe how bad it is. Which sounds terrible.
Is that bad?
I hate saying that, too, because one thing that I feel like people will figure in this podcast is, like, we're not like the YouTube commentary people, so we're not going to be like super critical of things. Like it's really easy
absolutely not.
Yeah.
There's
you
no,
and I like appreciate anything.
Yeah, I was thinking about that earlier. Like, well, one, I don't really know how to critique anything. I'm a very like, well, I think me and you both like when we see things, we're usually like, oh, dude, that was awesome, right?
Yeah.
I mean, take Dragon Ball Super for instance. Like people, there's a lot of like
poop on it.
Yeah, people just shit on Dragon Ball Super. And, like, at the end of the Super, I was like, dude, that was amazing.
Yeah, same.
That was such an awesome anime.
Yeah.
And, I guess I forget all the bad episodes, I guess.
But you've watched, so many animes all the way through already, right?
Right.
So
yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, I guess in that sense, you'd think that I would be maybe more critical
Right.
of animes, but I don't know. I don't know. That's just my attitude. I'm usually like 90% of the time I'm going to like anime. So like, if anyone asks me, hey man, is this? I'm like the worst person to ask if it's good or not. So.
Because you just yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's awesome. Like I just think about like the good parts. I'm like, man. And if there's an anime, I mean, I have seen some bad animes where like I usually only think about the good parts. And if there aren't many, I'm like, man, I guess the anime's okay.
Yeah,
I don't even say if it's bad. I'm just like, it's okay.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I will say, I feel like just with me watching anime more and maybe being in the YouTube sphere, I can feel myself like having critiques, but then I feel guilty saying critiques. Like, yeah, for me, if I don't actually like try an anime, like try to make a manga or an anime, I feel weird critiquing it. So I feel like I need to write a manga first before I. Literally create a manga, which I'm like trying to work on, which is funny. Anyways, I want to say this. What were you gonna say, huh?
I wasn't gonna say anything, dude.
You like started saying "dude" or something like in the middle.
I said like, okay, cool, you're a cool dude. Continue.
You.
My
big
awesome little brother. Yeah.
I was gonna all right. A briefing on the actual show itself. If you aren't caught up with My Hero Academia, you're just listening because you're like, these two seem really attractive. I wouldn't be super surprised, first of all, but I'm just gonna go through a briefing that I found on this website called Pornhub.com. So, season 1 says the first season of My Hero Academia was comprised. Damn it! I messed up on the 6th word of the sentence.
You're good, man. No one noticed. No one has noticed yet. Keep going.
Of 13 episodes, adapting the first 3 volumes of the manga, it follows the story of Izuku Midoriya, an average student who lives in a world where superpowered heroes use their quirks or abilities to combat legions of villains and monsters. Despite being powerless himself, he dreams of one day becoming a hero. His whole life changes when he is saved by All Might, Matthew's favorite character, the biggest chest you will ever smell, the world's greatest hero. All Might reveals that his true form is a weak, emaciated?
Emasculated?
It doesn't say emasculated. Emaciated man, but his one-for-all quirk would allow him to share his vast strength with Izuku. That permit Izuku to finally... it's because I think this is translated. Yeah, so they don't really speak the sentences correctly like I usually don't anyways. To finally chase his dream and enroll in UA High School to become a real superhero. The nature of his quirk makes Izuku nervous about competing against classmates at the cutthroat school. This unsure, almost realistically discouraged protagonist is a change of pace for shonen, a genre known for its hot-blooded, overconfident main characters. He also showcases his humility in allowing the more qualified super speed quirk-having Tenya Ida. What's up, bro?
Who are you talking about?
Tenya Ida is my brother. When I first saw the show, I was like, there's a character that literally is my brother. Because Matthew, you can't really tell right now, is very buff as well. And also, yeah, that's what he does. So he's Tenya Ida. And I to me, I feel like I'm more like...
what? Who?
Bakugo and Vegeta mixed. In strength, in just, terms of sheer strength.
Oh, no All Might or anything?
I can see All Might a little bit too. But ended their... Okay, so another student, the literally explosive Bakugo, his quirk is like explosion, was once friends with Izuku, but ended their friendship when he resented Izuku's lack of a quirk. Other characters introduced, including Ochaka Uraraka, Izuku's love interest, who has anti-gravitational powers. The maiden season comes to its climax as a group of villains target the school with their leader, Shigaraki, attacking the students to strike at All Might. So right off the bat, when I first saw the show, the first season, I was like, this is X-Men. It's literally a world full of quirks, except it's 80% of the world instead of like the small percentage that it is. So, and all these dudes have a school, just like the school of Hard Knocks, which is Xavier's school or whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, they go to this school and it's like this really prestigious high school. And then basically quirk is like this profession that everyone gets into. So it kind of like in the beginning scene, you see like a dude who's like, I'm going to be late to work. There's like a super villain attacking the city. Like you see how casual the whole sphere is already because people are so used to these quirks. But everybody just wants to be a hero. So it's kind of interesting. Yep. And I can't believe how addicted I got to it so quickly. Like literally the first like instance I was like, that's pretty cool. And then I'm so glad
you didn't like stick with that whatever that comment like the YouTuber was and he kind of like dug in. So
It was super
that
eye
is
patch
awesome.
wolf. Yeah, he was like insulting it, and I was like, and I really like his videos, so I was just like, maybe he's right. But I
Yeah.
get it too, because I will say this: the show like has figured out what works in shonens,
Oh god.
and like just does that.
The whole formula, just like every single episode, it's like, okay, let's build them up. All right, and then just climax it.
Yes.
So yeah.
It's like it's so intense, and like it's funny because if you get super critical, like we were just talking about how we weren't critical, that makes shows like this really fun if you allow yourself just to be like ego free, just kind of like enjoying it as it comes.
Get taken away by it, yeah.
Yeah, but some days when I'm feeling pretentious and I watch it, I will be like they're milking me, like they're just being like, here's a crazy thing, oh, can you believe that his toothpick broke and now the whole music turned sad and everything? And like in those moments I'm like, nope, you can't be pretentious, you have to just like straight up watch it, just let it happen, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's season 1 and 2 that I pretty much explained. I will.
Where'd you get that from?
It's a website called cbr.com/My Hero Academia season 4 breakdown.
Yeah. I like how it also like defined how like what a shonen was to a degree, right?
Right.
It's like a shonen genre.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because I was gonna do a section called Anime Education on this, and and we haven't seen the episode yet, by the way. So Matthew and I are literally about to just go watch the episode.
I know. I'm waiting for you to shut up. So
Sorry,
we can do this,
dude.
dude.
My internet went out though. That's good.
What? You're still there.
There's one more thing I want to read though, because it's like the season 3. What? You looked pissed for a second that I said.
Oh
that.
no, I was just making sure my camera is like straight. So,
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I want to say this.
Yeah.
The interesting thing, the part that's like kind of like matches our climate in this world as well somehow, is that the main villain in season 3 was this dude. What's his name again? He was a psycho.
All for One?
Hero killer.
Stain.
And All for One. All for One's the main bad guy. Like the one who is the antithesis of All Might.
Spoiler. So maybe I think people should already know there's going to be spoilers.
Oh, shoot. We should say,
Yo,
yeah, we should say that.
Ding, ding, spoiler alert.
Okay, sorry. If you haven't seen the first 3 seasons, we're literally breaking. Because we're going to be talking about the episodes as they happen. So if you haven't watched the episode either, you should watch it, because we're going to be reviewing the episodes and the seasons
and the entire show. So
yeah. So
if
get
you haven't
your
seen any
balls
of it,
ready.
We're going to spoil it. So
Yeah,
we're going to
like
spoil it, dude.
Okay,
we're going to.
Okay. So season 3 is basically it introduces this dude, Hero Killer. It introduces the League of Villains, and it introduces All for One. So All for One is the leader of League of Villains, and his little protege child is like this psychotic like dude with all these fake hands all over his body. It's actually amazing.
Yeah.
Like to go that far. But Hero Killer is the one that he's like pulling everyone in the world to like him. Like everyone kind of understands his thing, because he's basically saying like, well, a real hero doesn't monetize his value. If you're a hero, you're a hero. Like, you don't go out there and make a living out of it, make a job, because that just makes you like, you're a hero for all the wrong reasons. You're just trying to get a job. And he's trying to get but his thing is he kills everyone who doesn't abide by what he likes. So he's killing all the heroes,
right?
Yeah, which it's an interesting concept, because like there's truth in that, where it's like, isn't a hero supposed to be just someone, but it's become like this normal job, so there's not a hero aspect to being a hero, really. If it's
I think a lot of people, like, even the audience of the anime, they were watching Stain, they're like, yo, I can kind of get behind what this guy is saying too. So that dude was awesome.
He was. It's kind of like the Joker thing that's happening right now, where like people are mad because Joker really does pull people in. Like, that's an interesting concept. This mass murderer has a good point.
Yeah, you take a villain and you like humanize them, and people are like, oh, I get why you kill all those people. Yeah, it makes sense now.
Yeah, maybe I should.
Right on, dude.
But so basically, season 3 ends by showing these 3 epic students that are basically the most powerful students in the whole school, that are basically more powerful than like pros. And one of them looks just like the main character, All Might, and I don't know his name, but it basically ends with him showing off his power. And so what you're expecting the next season is basically that this guy is like in the posters, this guy's all over the trailers. He's going to be probably like the second hero next to the main character, Midoriya. There you go. So yeah.
Got it.
But yeah, for now, we're talking way too much about this. I'm probably going to cut like half of this.
I'm not going to lie, just a side note. just even getting on Funimation and seeing the thumbnail for
Yes.
I was like I was like, oh fuck, let's go, man! I was so excited, dude.
I am scared it's gonna be like all recap, but I'm still hyped because the episode My Hero, what's it called, the scoop on UA Class 1A. I was like, oh, it's probably gonna be like, this is 1A. It's gonna end.
Yeah,
but the thumbnail was cool.
I figured. Yeah, we didn't even talk about what we think about what's gonna happen with the episode or anything.
No, we didn't. Should we?
Huh?
Should we?
No, let's just
okay.
Let's just watch it.
All right, let's watch it. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
Intensely smiling.
Yeah.
Just watching it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like the hype is unreal.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
a hype episode. That's all. Like, I fucking hate it, but at the same time, it's like I'm fucking ready, man.
Because you wish that it would have had more like things happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think we both expected that though. Okay,
You were stoked.
intro. So
there was a lot. So did you write stuff down?
I wrote one thing.
I wrote a few things down.
Oh yeah, we'll get to I guess that part, but the intro is your very, very typical like anime like intro, right?
Very
Extremely.
much so.
So like, I mean, it starts with the opening and like kind of like the light comes out or whatever, and it's like, it does this thing. Anyways, and then like in the middle of it, it does the breakdown and then explodes and everyone goes into combat and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like your typical. It's like, okay, well, I mean, honestly, you can't get that wrong. Like I loved it so.
Their intro changes all the time. I feel like literally all the time.
Half season, I think.
Yeah. It's really strange that it does it so consistently, but yeah.
It's pretty typical of animes to do that. Well, yeah, like usually halfway through an anime or a season, they'll do it, or they do it like once a season.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this one, I'll tell you. Actually, what was your favorite intro of
I don't know,
My
probably
Hero?
the first one.
Really? My favorite one is the I think the season 3 one. I don't know if you remember, but it's like very, very, very poppy. It's like dun 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 dun, and then like it's like quiet for a bit, and it's like All Might is fighting All for One.
Oh, I don't know why I don't.
That intro.
There's so many of them. I can't recall them.
Yeah, I know that one's like definitely my favorite. I think if you type it in, it's like are we allowed to do that? Type in things on your podcast. Okay.
Yeah.
You Nazi.
What's up, dude?
All right, so
remember we weren't going to talk about Nazis on the first podcast, dude. We had to break people in first.
Literally one of the first things we talked about is
we said that we were literally like, oh, we're going to talk about Nazis right away. It's not going to go good.
Damn it. Are you going to get flagged?
No, I don't give a flying fudge dick.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, though. So I wrote down a few things. What was the only thing you wrote down?
John hasn't seen the movie.
Damn, I haven't.
That was because it showed in the beginning. It showed All Might's like younger form or whatever.
Yeah.
And his friend in the car.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, the fucking movie. So John hasn't seen that.
Balls cock. You know what his the guy's name was? His partner, David Shield, like a Shield agent.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this show is like
ruthless. It's Avengers and fucking X-Men.
Yeah.
Like, just take what everyone loves. I mean, hey, if you can do it,
dude, absolutely.
Do it right.
I mean, that's kind of yeah. So I wrote down a few things that I think are interesting, like how many new characters there are. Like in the intro, there was so many new people. I feel like there was a couple of scenes where it was like, especially with the bad guys, it showed like a whole line of people that I think we just haven't seen.
Right.
Yeah. And also how much emphasis on that little girl there was.
Yeah. So she's gonna be huge. I'm not sure if she's gonna be huge like the whole season from now on, or even like just the first half season until the intro changes.
The entire credits was her.
Yeah, the entire ending credits. I don't know if you watched the ending credits, but it was entirely her. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, so basically we're describing this new girl that hasn't been introduced in the show yet. She has one horn on her head, and she was in the intro, but the thing is, like, there's been this will they, won't they thing with the main character and this other girl in the class, but in the intro, it showed him, like, falling down from the sky with her, and they were, like, going in circles around each other, like, reaching for each other's hands. And I was like, who is Beto? So she might be, like, the actual... Because I feel like they're not pushing forward with the love interest that he has. Like I feel like
With,
they're not. Yeah, what's her name? The floaty
the
girl.
Gravity Girl.
Yeah, I feel like they're
or something like that.
they're half pushing it. Also, I thought the journalist looked really cool.
Yeah, I did too.
I love dude. Yeah.
His quirk, because his eyes were different. I thought he was gonna have like a lens come out. I was like, oh shit, but his quirk. Did you say it was gross?
Yeah.
It was fucking gross. Because whenever it happened, like I even like verbally said out loud, I was just like, that's weird.
Yeah, I was like, I don't like it. I mean, it's that
looks weird.
What's
that fear of like?
That's right.
You know what I'm talking about? The fear that has like a wobble.
Yeah.
Holes
with like balls in it. That's what a thing is. It's like a really typical fear. Like PewDiePie made a super viral video about it, but it felt like that. Like these lenses were just coming out of his body. He's like, I just have lenses that come out of wherever, and you're like,
it was uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you were so cool like 4 seconds ago, which he still does.
Yeah, but dude, I love that, man. That dude was awesome.
Did you like the like? I actually like this. It's gonna sound like I didn't the way I'm coming into it, but did you like the whole like 8-minute recap of who the characters were?
Oh god, yeah, I love that. I thought
amazing.
That whole section, I could just sit down and watch that, just about any like hero and stuff. I think, I don't know, I've always liked stuff like that, and like stats on like individuals of shows and stuff. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it was very video game-esque. Like it felt like I was like playing a game and like choosing a character and stuff. Like they've nailed it. Like during that scene, I was like, man, these guys really figured out how to like keep my attention every millisecond.
Yeah, and I feel like, and they like, I don't know, it was nicely done because they went through all the characters again. Characters I always tend to forget.
Yeah.
I mean, if they had that episode, if they did that like every like couple episodes, which I feel like they do anyways.
Yeah.
They do it like just right. So, yeah, not gonna lie, that bald dude came up. I was like, yeah, fuck your mother, dude.
Yeah. So, the ball guy.
The ball guy.
Why? Yeah. I literally I looked at the camera and I was like, why does he exist? Like I was like, I
bet you like in the recent polls or whatever, people were like that's everyone's favorite.
Yeah, probably like
favorite character.
I feel like he might be like an American favorite because he's such like, you know what I noticed too while it was showing it, like every character seems like in one way or another they could be a main character in one way. Like the guy with the big tail kind of reminds me of the main character of Street Fighter. The guy with the elbow things is literally Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, I feel like they're like, because I was wondering, like, dude, it must be so hard to come up with side characters that people are even slightly interested in. But they're like, let's pick the most famous characters of all, give them like these. Yeah, I don't know. Talking to animals is like a whole show in itself. Like the one dummy,
fucking Snow White. So like,
yeah,
all the characters. I was noticing too. I was like, man, all these characters are like really awesome, and they have really cool quirks. You know, I don't even know this, but even on like a lot of polls for like who's favorite character, they are like the frog girl. What's her name?
Sue.
Sue. Yeah, people.
I don't get the thing where he calls her the wrong name, and she goes, "I told you to call me Sue." Like I feel like that's a reference to something in Japan culture or something, but they keep doing that joke.
I'm guessing so.
Yeah, like I think it's just something we don't.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, the first. I'm rewatching the whole show right now, and I forgot that how much they push her in the first. Like when they first introduce her, they really make her seem really powerful.
Yeah,
they're kind of like, oh, she's secretly like, I don't know. They said something about her being powerful.
And that like teeters off, like
it kind of does, but then she always proves herself. Like she's the one who saved Midoriya's life first. Like when he was underwater about to get eaten by sharks, she grabbed him and saved him and jumped up and was like a badass. So he was like, "You saved my life, Sue," or "Hasuka Shuka," and she's like, "There."
Maybe she just likes her nickname more. Who knows?
Yeah, and it there was like right when that happened, the ball guy who's like this crazy pervert little short ball guy who throws balls that are really sticky. Which actually you start seeing how the quirk works a little bit better as it moves along. Yeah. But when they were that scene, he like hugged her and grabbed her boob and was like, "You have pretty big boobs for a frog," and she just held his head underwater. I was like, that's pretty funny actually.
Yeah. So that's anime. So it's so funny. I bust out laughing the moment they that you see Ida. I was like, this guy's supposed to be me.
Dude, I love.
what was the first thing he fucking said? Because it was so class. Wait. The journalist came in and he was like, "Yes, sir." He was very militaristic and attentive. So I was like,
he was like, what do you guys do right now? And he was like, we eat breakfast or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, you got to see the episode if you haven't seen it, because we're totally just saying everything that was, the context has to be understood. But no, dude, for some reason, like, maybe it is the fact that he kind of reminds me of you, but he really is my favorite character, I think.
Yeah. Dude, he is so awesome, man. Like, his quirk is amazing. What's his special ability called? Reparo or something?
It's something really cool. Well, he also has the coolest costume. I mean, he becomes a Gundam.
Gangnam style.
No, yes.
He becomes a Gangnam style.
Yeah, he becomes the Psy himself. He's like, he gets fat.
Korean embodiment.
Yeah, gets in trouble for like weird girl stuff. His whole like brand got in trouble. Psy. Anyways, that's besides the point.
Yeah.
But
wait, you gotta tell me more about that. I don't know about that.
Yeah, Psy's whole like people in his company basically got in trouble with like doing the girl stuff. How everyone in Hollywood gets in trouble for that, like, being weird to girls. Anyways, but I think his costume is the coolest because it reminds. What's that old show with the flying machines, the flying robots?
Yeah, Gundam.
It is Gundam.
Gundam, yeah.
Oh,
you're so like you had it actually. You said it.
Thanks, bro.
Mobile Suit Gundam.
Dude, you're always looking out for a brother.
Yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam. Yeah, Mobile Suit Gangbang. His costume is that, and he's the only one. So like right when he wore his thing, I was like, dude, this dude. Yeah, I mean they're making him like a main character too. He's like top 4. So
he kind of looks like Mega Man X, man.
Yeah,
Mega Man X Man.
Yeah, it's funny because it makes me think like. I wonder, at least to you, what story arc are you more interested in? Are you interested in like the villain who becomes the good guy, or the good guy who like has villainous ways?
Oh, well,
because that's his thing, right? His thing is kind of he's the good guy who has like secret darknesses. Not much. I mean, he just tried to kill the hero guy.
Okay, so you're asking me, do I like a villain who becomes a good guy, or a good guy who is like has like inherent like is kind of villainous?
Yeah, like basically like Vegeta versus I don't
definitely
know. Definitely
a good guy. I think for some reason people love that because it's
which one?
Vegeta one? Like that one. So the good guy having like just some sort of like
darkness,
bad part. Yeah, exactly. I always
like Batman.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think people love that because it's a lot more relatable.
Yeah.
Because more people just tend to want to be good, but they do have like, some bad things about them. Like that's everyone. Right. So it's nice to see that I guess manifested sometimes. Like, Vegeta's a fucking good example. Like, there's a game like Kingdom Hearts, right? Like, I play the shit out of the game. So that's a huge like, almost the whole purpose of the game is like. Being like a really good person, and like there's always some kind of darkness within everybody, right? So, and then Mickey Mouse comes out of nowhere and
is he a good guy or a bad guy? Oh, he's like the hero, right?
He's pretty much like the hero. He's like
OP. Is he like the All Might of Kingdom Hearts?
He's like pretty much.
That's so funny that they just did that.
Yeah, and it's so funny because like you imagine like you see this like shining thing come out of nowhere, like oh my god, it's King Mickey, and also you're like just like. I slay bitches.
Yeah, he's that show is or that game is like the epitome of what I feel like I would like, but I don't play games.
Oh yeah. It's
especially at this point, I'm way too scared now that I watch animes. Way too scared to get into something else that like is just as time consuming, if not more.
Oh god, yeah. I mean that'll do it, man. Games, and animes.
There was I watched this Korean video of people going around interviewing people on the streets and being like, how is playing too many games like a mental disorder in Korea, South Korea, and how often do you play games? And like most people were like, I could see how it's kind of bad, but whatever. And they're like, do you play games? They're like, yeah, not much. And they'd be like, how often do you play? They'd be like, 3 or 4 hours a day. I'm like, no, dude, that's literally like, if I played games for 3 or 4 hours, I wouldn't be able to do anything else. Like I'd be done and be like, especially after I watch animes too, my brain is so zonked in that world. Like I'm so involved in that world that I'm like, it's hard to look out, even though I live in New York City, which is beautiful, but I'm still kind of like, I can't even get my mind off of it. Like I'm still thinking about Midoriya punching a frog.
Yeah.
Which happens a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Consistent. Yeah, I don't know, man. Koreans are like machines. I seriously think they take the gaming out of their sleeping. So
Yeah,
like they only had to sleep in their pods for like 3 or 4 hours a day. So
it's true.
yeah,
They have like those they basically it's like half water, right? And they lay in it and it covers like
yeah. It's
zzz.
like Tupperware. Like
Right.
they just go in a Tupperware and close
Actually, you know
themselves
what it
off.
is? Their parents had leftover food and it was
Right.
big enough to fit their child in.
Exactly.
Like our mom. So it's basically just like a regular ketchup bottle. And they
Right.
just try to
Right.
fit their kid in it because they're like, we don't throw this away.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not going in trash. It's funny because that's a huge meme, which I didn't even realize. Like with our mom, dude, the funniest thing ever. She fills up every old bottle with a new sauce.
All kinds of
So
shit.
like when we were
Yeah.
kids, we had a syrup bottle that she filled up with sesame oil, which is just like the weirdest substance ever to drink. But one of our friends, Ryan Bennett, actually poured it all over his pancakes. Sesame
Yo.
oil.
Yeah.
And he and he
I did the
ate.
same thing.
Did you? Well, he ate 2 whole pancakes, and he was because he was trying to be nice. And then he was like,
Damn.
yeah. And then he literally looks at me like so politely. I was like, he's like,
Help
does this
me.
syrup taste a little awkward to you? And I like, I like smelled it, and I just probably laughed for like 2 hours straight. And I was like, dude,
Yo,
you're
that's
eating
sesame
like,
oil.
I'm like, that's as gnarly as like teriyaki, and you're
Oh
just like,
shit.
yeah. So that was very nice of him to do that. But yeah, she would do that all the time, and I would make the same mistake where I'd be like, oh my god, like looking for a sauce all excited, and then I'd find one and be like, yes, and open it, and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, death.
I did the same thing. Mom put sesame oil, or not sesame oil, but soy sauce in a fucking syrup bottle, right? Same
Yeah.
thing. And I remember, so with me, I started pouring it. I poured a little bit. I don't like too much syrup, anyways, just a little sugar. And I started eating it. I was like, man, okay, it's a little funky. So I poured more. Dude, I shit you not. I
Why
poured
would
it
you pour
over.
more?
I flooded the damn thing with it. I was like, holy fuck, this pancake sucks. Dude, it wasn't until like the fourth fucking it was fucking flooded, man. I'm talking like there was liquid up on the bottom.
It was like a bowl, and the
yeah, it was just
pancakes were
yeah,
just
it was
bobbling
like
in it.
yeah, just adding. I'm just adding pancake to the
Yeah.
to the liquid at the end, and yeah, I was like, I smelled the bottle. I was like, holy shit, that's soy sauce, man. And
It was actually wait, is it soy sauce or what I was saying? Sesame oil.
I think it was soy sauce, so it was very
That's so much worse.
so salty. Like I was like, there is no sugar in this thing at all, man. It just kept going.
Oh,
And I was
God.
eating it with someone too, which is the worst bit. They were like,
Nice.
man, add some more to that. Okay.
When did you notice? After you ate the whole thing?
No, dude, there was no way I could eat that. I took a couple, like every time I poured more, I took a bite. I was like, fuck, dude, this sucks. And I put more and more and more, and just did not get better. It got worse, which is
That
so
is very-
strange.
That's so funny because that's exactly how our family works, where it's like we don't ever think to like start over and analyze.
Right,
We just,
just
like
keep going.
brute force. Like even Sarah has
Brute
asked,
force
like
everything.
I've had like technology that's like messing up, and I do the thing where I start punching it. And she'll be like, "Are you sure that's gonna help?" And I'm like, "I think so."
Yes,
Like it's worked before.
it feels good.
Like the 3 printers I broke the one day. I don't even think I mentioned that on my Instagram story because I was so embarrassed. But yeah, one time I'm gonna do the story as quick as possible. But I had like an hour
Go town,
to
dude.
print John Mayer tickets that I bought for Sarah that were really expensive. They were like, I bought them same day. So I had to print these tickets out, and I was like, I have all the time in the world. We have 3 printers, so if one doesn't work, it'll be fine. So literally by the end of the night, I'm just gonna skip the whole thing. Every single printer failed. So I literally took my fist and I punched the printers until glass was flying in the air and they all like would bent all the way in. And then finally the last one, it was like funny after I broke 2. It was just funny. So I had a hammer. And in the last one, I was like, these are another $50. So I'm basically throwing away $50 each time. Except they didn't work, so they were already thrown away. But yeah, the last one, I was just like,
Did you go and grab like Sarah's printer?
you know what? It's funny. I didn't break your printer, huh? Maybe I just broke 2 printers.
You broke all of your printers.
I broke all of my printers and I had 2. So, and then I finally,
And our printer here at home.
yeah, exactly, the printer at the apartment. So, what the moral of the story is you need to buy a printer that's like $150 because there's like all the options that are less than $100, but this is just a
Right.
little, what's it called? A shout out to everyone.
Oh,
Pay
yeah.
at least $100 for a
PSA.
printer. Yeah, this is a
Yeah,
this is a
exactly.
pissa.
Bizarre.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Yep,
anyways,
walking a thin line.
dude, absolutely.
But,
So this episode is definitely gonna be like a it was definitely just like a review of everything happening in My Hero Academia. So like, you could probably start on this episode, the whole show. You would miss so much gold, but you would still at least understand the context. I mean, the show is so fun to watch, but
it wrapped things up so well. I mean, if you're gonna start the show, fucking, start the show from episode 1. But yeah, what John's saying is like straight up, this episode it covers a lot of things. It's just a kind of a good summary, I guess,
right,
of all the students and shit. So
that's a very good point. Well, I want to try to move on to a section. It's going to be the same thing. We're still reviewing. We've only reviewed for 20 minutes, but I still feel interested in talking about this. And I'm going to call this section Weeaboohoo. So it's basically the comments that I read under the video. I cannot believe anime people, or like people who are
for the Funimation one.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like looking at the comments.
I haven't seen them.
They're so good. But I've read some that were so well. It's interesting. I think it's like anything, but skate culture. So by the way, I'm a skateboarder. If you have no idea who I am, and I come from that background, but I've like the comments sometimes I'll be like, God, these people are so dumb. But
I got my favorite already.
What's up?
I already got my favorite comment.
Oh, you do? Okay. Well, yeah, but like, and then Sarah, my girlfriend, is in the tech world, so we're both YouTubers besides this. And like, I'm like, tech world is a little more intense than skate world, but anime world, dude, they are. Sometimes the comments are just the craziest issue in my life. Anyways, I know what yours is already. It's the first one.
Do you?
Yeah. What is it?
What the
Tuberculosis.
Fuck? I got tuberculosis. I didn't watch it without premium. What the fuck?
What does that even mean?
Yeah, like how is that even like related?
What's tuberculosis actually? I don't even know.
It's
shows my dumbassness.
It's a disease. It's a lung disease. So like this guy's just like, I got tuberculosis. I can't watch premium.
Dude, I didn't realize how much it sucks, but the first 4 comments are about that. I don't have premium. Why put it on premium when almost half of us are children that don't have credit cards? I've waited long enough for this to come out, and I am highly disappointed that Funimation put it on premium. That's so funny. Like, kids are just like, give it to me. Like, it's so funny. Kids are like, they don't understand. Like, just give it. I don't get it. Why? But
why
that
can't
makes
I just
sense.
have it for free? Like, I mean, this one says it like straight up. He says, I don't even care. This is how I feel. I don't even care that this was a recap episode and all. But My Hero Academia is back.
Boom,
That's
baby.
what I fucking like. That's the one I
like too.
Like.
Positive comments are always for me. Like how the fuck does a recap episode get me to tear up? Keep up the good work, Funimation. Like I
feel the same way. It kind of do the music. I was gonna say something about the music, but like the music, every time the violence kicked in, fucking single tear. I was like, hell yeah, man.
Well, yeah, and I'll say this too. The show's really transparent, so like a lot of things don't happen super. Like there's a lot of action that happens out of the blue, but the show really tries to make you feel good 24/7. So like,
oh yeah,
like the journalist, when you first see him, you're kind of like, I'm sus. Is this dude's gonna be weird? But then like, the show makes it really evident that he's not bad, and then you don't have to worry about him being bad. Like,
right, yeah.
Because in most shows, like American shows especially, that journalist, he had like a really good moment with the main character. He'd eventually be bad. But in this show, he's good. Because he's like, I had my childhood, All Might saved me. And like it showed him cute as a little kid, being like, All Might's the greatest. I don't know. That moment was cute because when they started talking about the epicness of heroes, obviously that violin kicks in. I think I am going to be the world's greatest hero.
That was him.
That was him. They all have accents.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, I love yeah, I mean people are stoked. Like this
Yeah, most of the comments are just people saying I'm so excited, I'm so hyped. This one dude was like, dude, kind of bummed that I was looking forward to what was actually the second episode of the season this whole time.
What does that mean? Oh, he's not
like this wasn't the episode he was waiting for. That's so funny. Oh man. But no,
yeah,
it was
they're all good, right? I'm trying to look for bad ones, but they're all literally just like so excited. I'm hyped. It's finally back. I love the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really interesting. Like, I feel like when I was a kid, I was definitely a lot more about like the whole like exclusivity rules, dude. You got to find the underground shit about everything or whatever. And now I'm so glad to be like on the anime that everyone else is on. Like it actually feels cool, like to be like the whole world is watching this.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of people like that. But like, I mean, in anime, I mean, there's especially people like that in anime. But like, oh, you watch My Hero, you watch Super, they're all right. You know, it's mainstream. But I mean, there's a reason why it's so fucking good, or like why so many people watch it, right? I mean, not saying that everything that everyone does is always like awesome, but I mean, this is awesome, man.
It's good, dude. It's and I like
so good.
Yeah, one thing I've been doing a lot recently is I've told you that I've been trying to write because I'm really interested in trying everything.
Right. You're doing like your own manga, right?
I'm
like
literally
you're not
trying
manga.
to.
I mean, like you're like doing a story for like an anime style.
Yeah, I literally wrote the first like chapter or section of a manga. Like I wrote it out and I was like, oh, now I gotta draw this. It's gonna be so bad. But that's the cool thing about doing what we do. Like you and I want to do this podcast, regardless of how bad it is. We're gonna try it instantly. Literally yesterday, we didn't know that, or 2 days ago, we didn't know that we were doing the podcast today. Like we figured out yesterday. We were like, oh shit, when's it's up, and we like
it's happening like tomorrow. I was like, what time tomorrow? Like tomorrow, like 4:30 in the morning. I was like, as soon as I wake up, all right, let's do this.
Yeah, so this, I mean, it worked out, and that's kind of what the whole idea with anime is. When I was writing a story, I wrote out like the shows that inspired me. I literally wrote out like Harry Potter because the whole concept of schooling is really fun. Like Hogwarts is like what makes Harry Potter feel so good. It's like an escape and whatever. Then like I wrote out like Little Monkey Island because you're like on this journey, whatever, exploring. That's like One Piece. And then I even wrote down X-Men. And then I was thinking about it, I'm like, dude, My Hero Academia is kind of
you just named pretty much I guess the pirate aspect, but still like you named all of it, man. So school's a huge thing in anime. Fucking massive. You can have like a world that's like devastated and like with nothing but mechas, and there's a fucking school somewhere. Yeah, like high school kids are saving the world. It's like super strange.
Maybe because it's that's their audience is like they try to, maybe high school kids are like young enough for middle school and elementary to be like, oh shit, we can look forward to them, and then I don't know, maybe we can feel connected to them in some way. But
I think that's like the age usually for a shonen crowd. You know, that's a typical age. I mean, I don't know. I think that age is getting older. Because I mean, shit, a lot of people our age, like, you know, about to hit 30, over 30s, you know, they're like really watching the shit out of this. I'd be really interested to see what the demographic is for most of these shows, honestly. Yeah, My Hero especially. Yeah,
I think My Hero's like, a little younger.
Is it? Because like,
you don't think so?
I just have no idea. I just know anecdotally, like me and all my friends, we watch the shit out of it, man. We love this. I mean, me and you, like, we watch it, and it's like, I guess I don't know many kids, so I mean, our nephews and stuff, they don't know dick about anime, so
that's true. It's funny to think that. So I don't know. I wanted to do a section where you and I reacted to like things about in Korea, and we're gonna figure out how to do a screen recording to where that's gonna be mostly a YouTube type thing, though. That's not gonna sound good in just audio, us reacting to like K-pop or something. But yeah, one thing we did, I want to talk about on this channel sometimes is like the Korean culture, because it's like there are a lot of me and Matthew are very whitewashed Americans.
Oh, absolutely.
Grew up in South Carolina. Like literally, we are the only Koreans you will find in our entire city. Like,
grew up in South Carolina, can't speak the fucking language.
Nope.
The only like
I've been practicing a lot,
anything that we've had anything to do with like Korean is like it's mom's like influence. You know, anything she's told us.
Yeah, I mean, well, 점심 드시겠어요? Are you gonna eat lunch?
Oh, that's good, man.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, I actually learned a few things that would be important for me. Like 커피 shop 했어요 is like at the coffee shop.
Wow.
Yeah.
Coffee.
I've actually, dude, I got to give you a link. I don't know why I'm saying this in the middle of our podcast, but I got to give you.
I think we can talk about whatever.
Yeah, that's
true.
We want to talk about. That's so dick. I mean, true.
Yeah.
I gave Dad actually a link to it, but I have a Pimsleur account, which is like kind of expensive, but it's like the best app for learning Korean. And you just have to, you don't have to write anything. You just listen to them talk and re-say what they say.
Jinja?
What's that?
It means really? I think that was like the only thing I said in Korea. Like, that's probably 50% of what I said whenever I went to Korea. I was like, Jinja? I just said it just to say, and they're like...
Do they know what you're saying? Because I feel like you're saying it. Jinja?
Jinja.
Because
Yeah.
J's there sometimes are the in between of a J and a CH. So it'd be like
Yeah, I know I'm like butchering it, but like Chincha.
Yeah, I know Quinchanayo.
Yeah. Quinchana?
Well, it's Quinchana. But yeah, Quinchanayo is like the respectful.
Oh, well, it's Quinchana. Actually, John.
I don't think it has. But if you got to be respectful to grandma or mom or something, you got to say Quinchanayo. Because they have a separate language for people older than you because they respect their elders there. Which is also something that I am very, very un-Korean in, is I'm very, very I don't really like tradition. I'm not a super traditional person.
I would say I'm probably traditional in that sense.
Yeah,
also South
you're a
Carolina.
lot more traditional than I am in like respect.
Yeah, South
I think I
Carolina.
grew
I
up
mean,
in skating,
South Carolina has that kind of like respect. Well, yes,
Definitely.
sir. Yes, ma'am, kind of
Yeah,
thing. So
100%.
good with that. But I mean, they're like way like, I mean, from what I've seen, like with our family, they're kind of like way ahead. Like, remember that one time I stepped over mom, and like Hominy or like grandma like punched me in the face.
She punched you in the face?
She punched me in the face.
Yes,
because
she
slapped my leg.
Oh, she did though?
Yeah, she slapped my leg, and I was like, oh, she goes, aish. And I was like, oh, what? And mom was like, you're not supposed to step over older people, or especially your mom.
We went to a wedding recently. Do you remember what happened when our aunts?
Yeah,
we didn't bow.
We didn't bow.
That gives me nightmares, dude. Like, I'm like,
Does it?
No, it doesn't give me nightmares, but I do think about it because basically, yes, we didn't bow deep enough for our aunt, and she was like, oh, she said something like that. She was like, and she basically told our mom.
That's what it said.
Yeah, that's what she said. She told our mom that we needed to bow farther, and I remember being like in my head, I'm like, oh, why don't I slap her in the face? Maybe that would be like a solution to that.
We should just done that. Like, I could not do that at all. Like, I sat there, I was like, Mom, I'm not gonna lie, that was as low as I could bow anyways. I was like, this suit is so tight on me just because my muscles are so massive, and especially the growing area. It's just
you got a lot of muscle down there, dude.
Muscle, yeah.
A lot of muscle.
Yeah,
but yeah, so what was my point about bringing up the whole whitewash thing in general? It was like that.
Oh, right. We will be doing that a lot too.
It was talking about anime in general. So basically, yeah, for me, the pull away from anime was kind of like following mom's lead, where she was kind of like, you guys should try to be more American, don't be too like Koreanish. That's why she didn't teach us Korean as well, because she thought it would be like detrimental to her upbringing, rather than just like, and maybe she was too lazy. But she kind of mentioned like, you didn't need to learn it. Why would you have it?
Yeah, that's to add that mom wanted us to just live the life that we were like, that she thought we were meant to, like
yes,
in America, just be Americans.
Yes,
she didn't want us to be, I guess, too different, right? I mean,
totally.
That sounds so shitty, but she just wanted us to fit in.
Yeah, I mean, literally, we were the only Koreans that went to our school, you and I, right?
In BC, or you talking about elementary school and stuff? Elementary school, yes.
Yeah,
definitely.
I don't remember anyone else in my class of middle and high school. I was the only Korean.
There was one Korean dude. Remember that like little gangsta Korean kid? He was like, "Yo, what's up?" That's my best Changsta Changsta impression. Yo, what's up, man? He was like,
bro.
Yeah. He had the hat and stuff.
I don't remember this Changster.
When
I say it like that, I think
my head, my head is like, I think I might be over exaggerating, but there was like this dude who like wore baggy pants and all this shit, and he was just like, he was the other Korean guy. Nathan knows who he is. I think he was in Nathan's class.
Oh my gosh, I think I do know who it was. I don't think I actually met him. He was Korean?
I think so. I think Kumar knew who he was, and Kumar said maybe he was in Wingsta or Changsta. Maybe for some reason, I think it's inherent in our like blood, like to see other Asians as like enemies constantly.
That actually is a huge Asian thing in America.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense because you're supposed to be looking for family, not fuck the guy who looks like me.
He was actually like a decent guy. I feel like Kumar knew who he was and was
but fuck him, I hated him.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he was a great guy actually, but nah.
Because he was Asian, so fuck him. Kumar's like, yeah, I remember that guy. He was awesome, dude. It was either Kumar or someone. There was another Korean in the school. There was a third. But fuck him. Who
Yeah,
cares?
I agree.
We were the ones that counted anyways.
But that's the funny thing is like where we're from, it was absolutely pointless to like embrace the culture because literally no one was a part of that culture. But you'll see a way different conversation with people in New York and California because the Korean community is huge. Like the building we live in and the last building we lived in, it's literally mostly Koreans in our building. Accidentally. We didn't even plan it. We just like ended up in a place. So like, but it's a different type where you're like in California, I mean, I'm super generalizing, but like all rich. The Asians are like, they all wear like Gucci and stuff. All their parents must be multimillionaires. And it's like, and even at like the Costa Mesa, which is the biggest mall in America, it's, I'd go there and like they would have, I don't even know what language, I think Chinese writing under all the English writing. You know how we have like Spanish in South Carolina? There's a lot of like Mexican writing.
Right.
Spanish. But yeah, that's
Spanish, right?
Yeah, that's how consistent Asian is. Anyway, so like when you ever hear people being like Asian appropriation and appreciation, it's always people from New York and Cali because they have a big community. Like it's important for them to like get the word out. For South Carolina, it's like, what would be the point of me and you holding up signs like respect Asians more?
Yo,
like, there'd be one dude
and everyone's like,
yeah, like one guy.
yeah.
Everyone else is like, get out of our country.
Go back to where you came from.
I remember like I didn't even get offended. I remember when I was in 8th grade, a kid said that to me. He said, "Go back to your own country."
Seriously?
And I was like, "Dude, I'm from like down the street. Like I'm from like literally right there." Yeah, but I literally I remember being a kid though. I feel like we were pretty confident kids, to where like when he said that, I felt bad. Like I felt like I had maybe coerced him, and I felt bad. Like I was like, oh damn, I didn't mean to make you offended.
Damn,
like
I wasn't such a piece of shit for that. Yeah,
I was like, man, I'm sorry, man. Like, because he was this dude who, it's funny because I did feel bad for him because he was clearly battling like coming out of the closet. And he did like 2 years later, but I could tell he was like this like confused, hurt boy. And I remember I did something that wasn't to him. I stuffed our toilet at the hotel with like, I just threw a bunch of stuff in it because I was trying to be funny, and then it wouldn't work. And he's like, what the fuck did you ruin and he's like, go back to your own country. And I'm like,
what? Wait, he said that from that?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's why I was like, maybe you shouldn't. Yeah, I don't know. Because it's funny.
Yeah, maybe save that for a more intense situation.
Yeah, like imagine if I actually did something to him, like pushed him. Like,
yeah,
he'd be like,
holy shit.
I don't like any Asian people. Like, like I don't know.
Yeah, holy hell.
But
that's insane.
So
okay. we digress.
We digress. But I mean, I want to talk about Asian culture in general. I think it's really funny. Like a lot of people, I think there are a lot of Asians in America who aren't in New York and California too. Like in some places, like Alabama, I'm sure has a ton of Asian.
What about Alabama?
I'm sure they have a ton of Asian.
Tennessee.
Yeah. But we want to cover. I do want to talk about that stuff, but I do also want to cover. We did the weeaboo. That's funny.
That's funny. And it wasn't much who. It was a lot of weeaboo yays. So
yeah, weeaboo yay.
Yeah, weeaboo yay.
Weeaboo.
Weeaboo yay.
There you go, something like that. But weeaboo.
Weeaboo ya.
And now I take back everything I said about anime culture. I feel bad about saying anything that I said where I was like, yo, these people are so shitty, like they're such assholes, and then they're just like, this show is great.
We're assholes.
Yeah, I know. That dude, the consistent theme of me when I think about my childhood is like, I'm like, damn man, people were bullies back then. And then I think about the story and I'm like, oh shit. I think it was
maybe
me.
I was a fucking I know for a fact, after I hit like, upper 20s, I'm like, dude, I was a piece of shit when I was younger. I was an asshole.
Yeah.
In my head, like when I'm like a teen, I'm like, man, everyone's so racist. Everyone just looks down on me, man.
Yeah.
I'm just a piece of shit. As I get older, I'm like, I'm a fucking dick.
It was
I
me.
deserve those things.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I remember like just beating people up for no reason and slapping people. I'm an asshole.
No, I used to love your beating up stories because like there was like I remember me and you weren't near as close as we are now for a couple of years, and I remember
I love like I said it as a joke, and you're like, yeah, actually I do like your beating up stories. Those are actually true.
You did not for no reason.
No, I know.
But
I was gonna let the audience know that.
Oh right, sorry. Yeah, we take it all back. He's never
cool.
beat anyone. We'll save that story for another time.
Actually, no, go ahead. I
was basically gonna say that one time you like, since we weren't super close, I wasn't like sure where we sat, and like I was like, does Matthew even like me anymore? Like we haven't hung out in like years, I feel like. And I remember you beat someone else up for my sake. Like someone was in my room, and you were like, get out of my brother's room.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, and so I'm not gonna go into detail about this, but me and my brother lived alone for like 4 years, which is pretty sick in high school. But he literally kicked down my door. Matthew did,
Yeah.
because the dude was in my room and he was trying to hook up with someone or something like that.
And
Like,
yeah,
doing something inappropriate.
he was about to have sex in my little brother's room, and I was like, I'm not fucking down with that shit. So
yeah, so he literally kicked my door off its hinges. My door was forever broken after that until we weren't living alone, and then the parents fixed it. But he literally, for like 4 years I couldn't really like close my door, but he did that. And then the dude, I had a top bunk, and he was on the top bunk, and he was like, "Whoa, what the fuck are you doing?" You know, whatever. And Matthew grabbed this dude, held him up like this, and the dude's like, "Ah!" and like threw him in the closet, broke the closet door too.
I threw him down.
Okay.
Just slammed him down to the ground.
And weren't you just hitting his head like this or something? Like,
yeah. So I asked him, people watching this are gonna be like, dude, this guy is an asshole.
No.
Literally,
lots of alcohol involved. This dude, I have a history with this guy who's an asshole.
Not saying it's okay. So
yeah, don't beat
with
me
alcohol,
up.
it's okay. But so with alcohol, it was okay because this guy, you know, he was on the ground and he looked at him and was like, "No, Matt, no." Oh my god,
You made it sound worse. Why did you make him sound like a victim?
Stop that. The guy was a little.
I'm gonna donate to charity later.
Yeah. I'm the DD. I'm taking everyone home tonight.
Right.
Like,
No,
you
this
little
dude's a
bitch.
giant ass. This dude's the
Yeah.
worst. At the time. I'm sure he's great now.
This dude's gonna watch the video. It's like, they're talking about me. But I held him and he was like, "Stop, man, stop." And I asked him, "Hey, do you want to know?" It wasn't even the wittiest thing at all. I just said, "Hey, do you want to know what it feels like to get punched in the face?" Literally asked him that. And he was like, "No, Matt, no." And I wasn't listening, and I punched him in the face. And I asked him again, and I just kept doing it. And I did it like 3 times. And someone tackled me down. And got me down. And I was like, scrounge around. He ran. Dude, he ran so hard. I was chasing him. He ran past his fucking car. Ran down the street.
Oh. It sounds all right. So
now I sound like fucking shit.
No.
I'm laughing so much about this poor guy,
dude. Let's just say this. This dude was I would say one of the most popular dudes in my grade. He won most attractive. So he was he was like the classic jock in a story that like everyone kind of hates. I guess he's like the douchebag.
People can narrow this shit down.
I know. No, he was the douchebag, right? And they could just look at the yearbooks, But I helped him skate for a little while because he was like trying to be cool and wanted like skating to be on his resume. And he was just like this shitty dude to me. Like, and I remember trying to be nice, but then here's the problem with us. And this is the reason when we think back, we're the assholes, because the victim mentality, like when you're a kid and you're like, fucking everyone's racist, everyone hates me. You will go into a conversation with someone really nice and you'll be like, what? And they're like, nothing. I just
judging me.
Yeah, and then they're like, this dude's an asshole, so they act like an asshole to you, and you're like, what the fuck? And you're the one who started it. So like, that's the problem with the whole victim mentality. You literally make everyone an asshole to you, and that's what I did like my entire childhood. I was just like, because I remember like 256 right before I moved to California, I was like 20 to 22, 23. That's when I felt it the most. Like I was like, dude, everyone's a fucking asshole. And we live in a college town, so it's all like white party people, which is fine. And then, but it's like, but I was always like, man, these people hate me. And it's like, it was never like that. It was just me being a dumb wad.
Yeah, sometimes it's just like that, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. That's how I was in high school. And I just thought everyone was just a fucking asshole. And you know what? That's toxic behavior. I just like, I growing up, I'm like, man, I still kind of do that, every now and then. But yeah. Now I'm more aware, I guess. And I'm like, man, I'm kind of just inherently a dick. So
yeah, I think we both definitely have that side of us where it's like, can you try to get more centered on the screen, because it's so blown out. Like you see how bright? There you go. Yeah, that's perfect. It's so bright. The frick, dude. There you go. That's perfect.
Okay.
It's still a little blown out. We'll figure it out. We gotta get a camera later, like a better camera, I think. I'll send you like a point and shoot camera. Anyways, but
it kind of fixed itself a little bit. Is that
there
better?
You go. Yeah, that's perfect. But yeah, that issue is terrible. Don't grow up thinking you're a victim, even if you are, just because it like kind of puts you farther down. Like that stuff never helps to be like, I'm a victim. The whole chip on the shoulder thing, people are always like, you can use the chip on your shoulder to help you. If you have too big of a chip, like it's like weighing you down, it won't help you. It'll just make your life a shithole. But the thing that I wanted to get on now that we've been talking about this for 44 minutes since the thing, like now this podcast is already an hour long. I do want to get into a whole conversation. I don't know what I'm going to call it. Maybe Animeducate. Okay. We'll talk about shows that we're watching currently besides My Hero Academia. Do you mind if I pee real quick, though?
Yeah, me too.
I'll see you in 2 hours.
I'll help you, buddy.
What are you watching right now besides this motherfucking show, Snitchhead? You don't even know.
You're gonna hate me. Let me just look at my recent watch on Hulu.
How about I start with one?
Go ahead.
I'm watching Samurai Champloo right now, which is it made by the same people who made Cowboy Bebop?
I don't know. I would think it was, but I do not know.
It's stylistically very similar in comparison to other shonens. Like Cowboy Bebop kind of like lives in this little world, which by the way, if you haven't seen that show, it's obviously one of the most popular animes I feel like ever. It's unreal. Like I cannot believe how invested I got into like it's definitely my favorite one so far. Like I like it more than Dragon Ball. Like watching it, I don't know if I like the whole story arc because it's way shorter, but good godly jeepers. But anyway, Samurai Champloo is basically the same voice actor of the main character, and it's about these two samurais. One's like this reckless, like hoodlum type dude who's the main character, who's voiced by the same guy who plays Spike in Cowboy Bebop, and then he's like basically fighting against this other guy who's like a well-polished version of him. He's like an insanely good fighter just like him, but he's very polished. He has glasses. He's like clearly a samurai expert. So it's all in that era of time. Like samurais.
What's his name again? Jin, right?
Maybe Jin. Yeah, there you
Jin
go.
And Mugen?
I
think Jin's the smart one. Jin's like
the one with glasses.
Yeah.
So and I think the whole premise so far, the way that it starts, is basically they all end up having to travel together to help the main girl of the show find a daisy that smells like something. Like
sunflowers?
Yeah. Or find a person that smells like sunflowers.
Yeah, there you go.
Right. And I think irony, I'm just assuming early on, but I think the irony is that sunflowers don't have a smell. So I think there's like this huge symbolism with the whole show about basically searching for nothing kind of thing. That's my take on it. But action scenes are incredible. It's all like sword fighting, but it's not like bloody, really. I mean, it is to an extent, but it's not like as crazy as you would think it would be for like an anime. It's not like Rurouni Kenshin the movie. I remember watching that, and it was just like insanely gory.
Oh, yeah,
just like
that was
everywhere.
That was a mind fuck. Like, because I don't think I've ever seen like a gory like anime.
Yeah,
I remember watching like Samurai X and being like, holy shit! Yeah, what are we watching?
And I watched it multiple times, so I mean, I remember thinking like, oh, I can deal with this kind of stuff, but yeah, like I feel like I don't know. Sometimes when things are just like grotesquely cruel like that, it's like I don't know, it turns me off. Like, but Samurai Champloo is not like that. It's all, and it's super they're all like graffiti type, like lo-fi rap, kind of like how a lot of like YouTube videos are kind of into. They go down that avenue, and it's like they did it early on obviously, but it's really good. I don't know, my recommendation is like 10 out of 10. Like if you have Funimation, watch Samurai Champloo. Watch a couple episodes. If you don't like it, punch yourself in the dick. But I also think Cowboy Bebop is like that's where it is. If you don't like Cowboy Bebop, that's fine.
Yeah, but go kill yourself.
Bro.
Oh, sorry, man.
Yeah, dude,
Oh, then it's okay.
Yeah. But what are you watching right now?
What am I watching? So there are a few of them that I'm like in the middle of watching. So currently I'm trying to finish up I know I sound like pretty positive on a lot of shows, but I'm trying to watch Tokyo Ghoul Re.
Oh, okay.
So this is like, I believe, the third season of Tokyo Ghoul. I don't know if you've ever seen or heard anything about Tokyo Ghoul.
I've heard of it, but I don't know what it's about or anything.
Extremely popular. Probably one of the best intros I've ever seen. It's up there with the intros. It's up there with like, and I'm talking like intro music. It's up there with like Evangelion. That's like Evangelion is my fucking favorite intro, but Tokyo Ghoul is like up there. Okay. But yeah, it's about this dude who pretty much gets bit by like a ghoul, kind of like zombie-like character. They look like normal people, except they're like, imagine like vampires. You know, they're
Okay.
normal, but like at night they're like they feed and stuff, and they have to eat and drink blood or whatever, or eat. And yeah, he becomes one, and it kind of goes through how he needs to like kind of cope with being a ghoul.
Vampire.
Well, so I guess the difference with a ghoul and a vampire is that these ghouls, like, they eat. They actually have to eat, like, people and stuff. So,
Whoa.
but I think, yeah, he kind of goes through it, and
You're not really into it?
well, this is the third season, and it's just, I think anyone who's watched it, they might understand, too. Like, it is a mess of a show. Like my life, it's a mess. But, it's one of those shows I'm kind of like just try and get through. Unfortunately,
How many seasons are there?
3. So
Okay, so this will be it.
yeah. So I mean, they came out with this one. First season was awesome. Second season was like okay, and then this season's like, man, like it's kind of rough to get through. But
Damn.
yeah. So that's and I hate talking shit about any shows because usually I like most animes, but
Right.
yeah, that was. Whatever. So the next one, I'll try to go through this real quick. I'm
Okay.
trying to watch Soul Eater Not.
Okay.
So Soul Eater is another pretty popular anime that came out some time ago. But anyways, it's got that trope with like students. It's part of a school. It's like Death Academy. Anyways, these guys, it's very like spiritual.
Okay.
So you have these main characters who are part of this school. It's very kind of like very cartoony style drawing. It's kind of like if you imagine you have this crazy looking school, it doesn't like physically make sense. It's like buildings are kind of just like being jammed in there, and the sky has like a laughing sun, you know.
Okay.
And you have a laughing like moon and stuff. And the guy who runs the school is Death. He's a Reaper.
Oh, cool.
He has like a skeleton mask and everything. And the
Is
characters
there one
are
Death?
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's one guy, like he's the Grim Reaper pretty much.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
yeah, and the series is actually really cool. I think it's like 50 something episodes, and it's actually one of my favorite series. Because I just like the style and the character development. It's
Cool.
very engaging. But yeah, so anyways, it's about these students. Once usually a student, it's like they're in pairs. One student can become a weapon, and one student wields the weapon. So that's how that works, I guess. And they eat the souls of like witches and stuff. Anyways,
Oh, cool.
yeah. So there's a whole series on that, and this series called Soul Eater Not is based. It's a side story based on another group of kids who are like just getting into like learning how to learning the ropes of this
Are these
academy.
kids dead, or are they like real alive kids, or what?
I believe they're alive kids. Yeah, they're alive kids. It's really strange. It's hard to describe, but yeah, they're alive kids. They just go to the school because they have the ability to like transform into a weapon. It just
Okay.
happens one day, and yeah, they have abilities, so they go to school and they learn how to use their abilities, and yeah, it's pretty neat. Very anime.
What's
It's
anime?
not anime. It's
Oh,
anime. But it's awesome.
it's very
too.
Japanese.
And yeah. So and yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Just saying that, I feel like a lot of people are like, "Yo, it's not that anime."
Right.
Yeah, but it's good though. I like the show a lot.
Cool.
So I'm just trying to watch that one. Yeah, and then just real quickly, Blue Exorcist is another
Okay.
show that's really good. Couple episodes in, it's Blue Exorcist Kyoto.
Yeah.
So I think this is like the third season of Blue Exorcist series, and it's about like the spawn of Satan.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, I mean I think it's a really good one. It's like the spawn of Satan that he's
What are you
also
watching
in
on? Are these all on Funimation or no?
Hulu.
Oh, okay. Hulu kills it.
Yeah,
Huh?
they have some good ones, man. Some real good ones. And this kid, he goes through school, and he has a brother who watches over him. He's very much like Ida, top of the class kind of guy,
Nice.
glasses and all that stuff. So me, and he's watching his like younger brother and making sure he doesn't like explode or turn very demon-like, and the story
Nice.
goes from. And then the last one, I know it's
Oh my
like
God,
I
you're
know it's a lot,
watching
but
like 20
these
at
are
once.
like Yeah,
You're
these
good.
are like, and dude, this is very typical. So you're actually on like a couple
I'm on a couple
animes.
too.
I know you're
Yeah.
focused on certain ones, but yeah, these are all kind of like in general. And the last one is like Mushishi. Um, this one is more artistic, and this one is very like I don't know if you've ever seen Spirited Away.
I haven't
Like
actually,
Studio
but I've
Ghibli?
seen enough commercials where I feel like I've seen it.
It's very like spiritual, right?
Right.
But like it's about this guy who travels along like I guess Japan, feudal time like Japan, and or feudal era Japan, and he's like he goes through and helps people with their problems. It could be spiritual, like a haunting in a house or something, and he helps calm spirits or communicate with them somehow, try to resolve issues with everyone. And that one is actually definitely of all the animes I'm watching currently, that one is definitely the highest rated.
Okay.
This is the second season of it, and that one is fucking good. That one's
Really?
really, really good. Yeah, it's very slow paced though. It's not
Damn,
like
I feel like I just need to like take some of your recommendations because I'm the ones I can go through so quickly, but Samurai Champloo, and then I started watching One Piece, which obviously is the most popular anime of all time. And I like it because I wanted to be a pirate when I was growing up, and I still kind of want to be a pirate.
It's
I
so
think,
crazy. I never recommended that to you.
I know,
Like,
knowing that I'm
it blows my
obsessed
mind.
with
Monkey
Island.
Island.
Yeah.
Like, and the drawings you do of melee and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
jeez.
Like even the story that I'm writing, like I have this vision of like whatever schooling they do to be on this big ship that goes throughout the universe,
Right.
like a pirate. I will say this though, I randomly watched I watched the first episode of two really popular animes on Funimation right now, like two that they're trying to promote. One called Fire Force, and the other called Dr. Stone. We watched Dr. Stone, and we kind of had I have the same idea for both of them that we had for Dr. Stone. And what did we say?
It was very tropey. Like you start the show and it's like, okay, you have your badass anime hero, and the world goes to shit. Oh, well, it showed some characters and they said, oh, fuck the characters.
Yeah.
And like a lot of characters just went to shit. They might come back, whatever. But yeah, and he's just a super smart guy. He just doesn't give a shit about anything. Is a very typical smart main character in animes. I've only seen one episode. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but
Same.
that seems like it's where it's going.
They seem like all these shows seem like they, no matter what, like animes kind of have the thing where I feel like they can just get good if you just watch them. But yeah, Dr. Stone was definitely like Dr. Stone and Fire Force. It was almost like too much in the first episode to where, which animes do that, but for some reason my brain just didn't get attached to anyone at all.
It was like so much like shut down.
Yeah,
Like,
like
that's
my
how
brain
it
just kind
was
of
for me. I was like,
because Dr. Stone is literally about how the world, everyone turns to stone, and then two of the characters wake up 3,000 years later.
Something like that. It was a mess on time.
They wake up, and one's a super genius who can probably figure out the solution, and the other one's like a brute force guy who can actually help fix the world with his muscle. He can like grab trees and catch food and all this stuff, even though everything's stone. So I don't really understand how they're eating already, but the whole show's kind of wrapped around that, and I'm assuming that their whole goal is to save the planet and to make everything not stone again. It was interesting.
So the premise will be on that. So how fucking long can you keep a story going with everyone in stone? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Like,
I mean,
eventually they have to do a solution, or is it gonna be like, oh, we found the solution for one person,
yeah.
and each arc is gonna be like, we saved one individual. I know it's not gonna be like that.
It might
but,
be
you know what I'm
like,
saying?
yeah.
It's like,
Or they're gonna probably like in my head they're gonna like uncover someone who actually ends up being really bad.
yeah, I
And
think
they're gonna have.
Yeah, I think my issue is like, it's not really, it is a personal issue. Is that like there are so many animes out there that like, unfortunately, like watching this, it's like you watch the first episode and this is like with a lot of new animes as it is, and this sucks, but if you watch the first episode and you're not into it, then like I don't know, I feel like I have to move on. Like I have to be like, okay, I have to find something that I know is like solid. If I watch the first episode of something and I don't feel it,
You'll move on.
Yeah, you gotta move on.
Yeah. I don't like the whole idea of like you have to like sit and be patient, which I understand. I understand it, but I'm like, because like, okay, I'll say this: Fire Force. I was telling you about it, but it's basically about a actual firefighting team, like firefighters you would see in real life, and they are fighting supernatural fires. So people in the world are
Spontaneously
spontaneously combusting, and they basically end up being these like demons who like whatever, and then if you kill the demon, you're basically letting their soul rest. So the concept is kind of interesting, but right off the beginning,
wait, do they wear like firefighter? Like,
actual firefighter gear. Yeah. They actually look like real big firefighters, but they have like the main character. Basically, it introduces this main character right away. They call him Devil, so he like he kind of is the counterpart of what would be the hero, because he almost seems like he would be the antagonist. So the concept is cool because it's all these, the fights are crazy. Like they're like all these fires going around. He's like fighting demons. He has special powers, but it feels very hard to get connected with the characters right away. Like the whole first episode, I didn't root for anyone. Like I was like, I don't care who wins, like anyone could die here and I wouldn't care. Like even the main character.
Yeah.
But because he was like a kid who basically killed his mom or something on accident with his fire powers, and now he was like, for my mom, I will be a hero. Like literally the whole story is about the main character wanting to be a hero again. And I'm like, I'm literally watching another show right now, 4th season, podcasts about another. So for me, it was like, it sucks because there are two ones that are really being pushed, and I definitely didn't feel myself getting super connected. So I feel like it might be kind of hard for me to find like animes that really resonate at this point. But
dude, and especially since you like pretty much slammed into anime so fucking hard, like talking Dragon Ball Super, which is your childhood, right? That's reminiscence. Like that's hard to fucking beat.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I mean, think about Dragon Ball Super and Z is like, I think overall, if we never watched it and just watched it now, it would have been like a very okay anime, or it would have been very hard to get into.
Right.
But because we grew up on it, like that's hard to beat. And also that you went right into fucking Cowboy Bebop, which is one of the greatest fucking animes. Like, I mean, that right there is going to leave you very, like unsatisfied with whatever else comes your way. I mean, you have to really find your shit, There's a lot
Have
of
you
stuff
seen Fairy Tail?
I saw the first episode, yeah.
How was it?
I think it's like your very typical, like I knew from the first episode, I was like, they're going to milk the shit out of this show.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's so funny that we were like in the beginning, we're like, we're usually pretty happy about most
we're
things
just talking
watch,
shit about
this,
every show now.
This little segment is like, man, fuck all these shows. But Fairy Tail, I think it looks cool. I just know I did not want to devote the time to watching another fucking another One Piece or another Bleach. Just an ongoing series. So, but the first episode was cool. You have a badass character, like a flame dude, and he like kicks ass. So,
well, I hate to do this, but I feel like we should stop because it's been an hour and 3 minutes, and then we already filmed 25 minutes before this, so it's literally almost been an hour and a half of a podcast already. I mean, I could obviously talk about this forever, but I feel like we should just catch back up in the next episode.
So how do you feel, buddy?
I feel good. I thought that was really. I thoroughly enjoyed that, and I thought, since I'm a YouTuber already, I sort of thought of like so many titles as we were doing that, like, oh, 2 Koreans talk about their, like how Koreans reuse packaging or something really stupid. Yeah. So my head went instantly into like these titles and thumbnails during our thing, but that was fun. No, I think we should keep doing it if you're down.
Dude, I think that was so much fun. And it's really got me going on to like watching more animes. But suggestions, just real quick. I know you're like on a shit ton, so I'm just gonna.
I'm not on a crazy amount.
Yeah, I'll leave it to. There's 2.
Okay.
And I think these are very, very good, and I think you will like them a lot. One of them is I told you about before, and it's mainly because I know you liked Your Name.
Yeah.
The movie. So it's a movie on Netflix called A Silent Voice.
Okay.
Peep that. It's fucking very good. I like it a lot. A lot of people and anyone who's like on the stream or whatever, on the video, anyone who knows anime, they're like, yeah, that's a fucking like, it's there, man. It's good shit. That one and another one eventually down the road, a shonen, pure fucking just adrenaline pumping shonen. It's literally, they take the formula of a shonen where like you take a character and you just break a limit after limit after limit and it just doesn't fucking end.
Okay. This
is the show that does it the best in my fucking opinion, and that is Gurren Lagann.
How do you spell it?
Gurren, Gurren.
Okay.
log on. Let me just type it in.
Okay. All right, so for everyone out there, let me know what you think about these two things if you've seen them, because I haven't seen them yet, and don't spoil anything, and if you do, it's okay.
Yeah.
So I'll find you and your parents.
I'm certain people will definitely agree with the first one. Gurren Lagann, to each their own. People love the first season and stuff. I loved it all the way through. But it's Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
That show is fucking good. And also watch the My Hero movie.
Oh, right. Okay.
I got that bitch on Amazon. That movie is the tits, yo.
Okay, cool. Tits are cool.
Tits
All right,
great.
I think we're Guchenheimer Schmidt. Matthew, thank you for being a part of this. Or I don't know, I'm gonna call you Matt Hill because that's your name in the bio for the Instagram. If you do want to keep up the Instagram, I'll be posting probably pretty consistently. My brother literally doesn't have social media, so you don't have to follow him anywhere besides here. Yeah, keep up with him talking here,
and please don't
keep up with him. Everything will be in the
at
description.
all.
But here's the description on the actual Instagram. It says John and Matt Hill instead of just John Hill.
Yeah, and Kim Jong. John.
I should do that, but then I was like, John and Matt Hill look so good because they're four letters.
Yeah.
And then I said, a podcast for gods. Two long-lost brothers reunite through the exploration of anime and animation. Only one can survive.
So good. I haven't seen anything on your like makeup for this show. Like even the intro. You should have started with the intro so I could have heard it.
It's gonna be so dumb, dude.
But hey, we'll save it till next time. I guess. Well, you'll post it, but it takes a while for this to post, doesn't it?
On YouTube, it's gonna go up probably tomorrow.
Oh, is it?
So you can watch this on YouTube tomorrow. Yeah.
What was the thing you were talking about that would take
podcasts? This won't actually. Oh, for people out there as well, this actually won't be on podcast for probably another week and a half or 2 weeks because that's how long it takes for it to go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all that stuff.
Oh, this is going across multiple branches then.
This is going to be on every podcast platform.
Okay.
Because there's just a website that can link to it. It still might not get seen. I mean, there's a ton of podcasts, but
that's fine.
But yeah, so it'll be funny. It'll be funny because you have no way of checking like anything really, except for you can go to YouTube and see what people are saying. But
I think YouTube's the only thing I'll go on because I didn't even know about the other things. That's why I'm like so confused about the podcast. That's why I'm smiling. I'm like, what?
Instagram is just a fun way to show like I don't know, like simple, fun, cute things. Like because you can only post a minute clip, so it might be fun to post like quick, like 10-second clips. I literally thought you were frozen because you were so still. This fucking camera froze right at the end of this podcast. Okay.
All right. I'm super excited. Next episode, I guess I'll wait to hear the intro.
Okay.
So we can at least like get some reaction. Yeah, I'm not sure because you said it's awesome, so I'll wait until.
It's stupid. It's short. It's just gonna be like, hey, welcome to whatever. But yeah, next time My Hero Academia is gonna be. Something's gonna happen. It's not just gonna be that's gonna be sick.
Yeah. Yo, I'm excited.
The story's gonna get started. Okay, well,
all right.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. Matthew, I'll see you on the other side. I'll be back to you in a second with closing thoughts and prayers.
Yes. Sure.
All right. Bye, Matt.
Peace.
I hope you enjoyed my brother and I trying to get our footing on this first podcast. Yes, I actually come from another YouTube channel, John Hill, and I started this because me and my brother do have these long conversations about anime all the time. It's so fun, and I thought, how awesome would it be if we actually recorded one of these, and if we actually did something that was topical and that people might be excited about, and creating content that I have actually been searching for. I've been interested in hearing people review animes, especially new ones that are coming out, and I would actually like to listen to people talk about My Hero Academia as I go because they are very impactful, the episodes to me at least. I think about animes throughout the whole day afterwards, and I'm always interested in people's perspectives, and obviously I am Korean as well, so talking about Korean culture, it's basically just creating the exact type of podcast that I want to listen to right now, and regardless, no matter what happens, me and my brother have zero expectations for the amount that people will watch it, and who even knows how long we'll do it. Hopefully we continue it because it is just a good time with my brother, and I hope that translated through this. So stay tuned. We're gonna do one of these a week. Every time a new episode comes out, expect one of our podcasts the day after. And thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to comment something down below, I would be very interested in hearing the perspectives of people out there about anime in general. I'm sure we said a lot of things that might annoy people, so just let us know. I'm curious as to what the world thinks about everything that we talked about. Let me know. Love your faces, and I will see you next time. I don't have a closeout yet, but we will develop one. For now, I'm going to say, I have no idea. 안녕히계세요. Bye. I'm back from outer space.
Your mic's amazing. Like, picked everything up.
Did you hear that?